You may need to tighten your wallet. You may be paying more for your home or your car from the end of this month. One of the biggest trading days of 2022 is right here, right now, and Black Thursday for the European markets coming up right now. Good morning on this beautiful Wednesday morning, the 21st of September. Guys, I am your host, Dane van der Mast. In the next couple minutes, we're going to cover everything you need to know and so much more about the markets. Guys, there is a massive trading day ahead of us. We're about to dive deep. And remember, if you have a live account, I'll be trading the FOMC interest rate decision live tonight at 8 o'clock. So you want to make sure you get involved. If you don't have a live account, link in the description down below. Get signed up, get registered. It takes a couple minutes and you can come and trade one of the biggest trading days and events with me of potentially 2022. As always, remember to like and subscribe. Hit that bell notification item so anytime we go live, you are notified and first to be aware. Now, guys, we're going to start off this morning on local news and having a look at what is happening in the markets from a South African perspective. So without further ado, let's just jump right in it. So this morning, all eyes are going to be on central bank moves happening this evening in the US, as well as blackouts and load shedding, right? That's going to continue to be the theme. The South African Rand is currently trading at 17 Rand and 80 cents to one United States dollar. So Rand definitely sitting in a vulnerable position. Again, there is potential for this to get even worse. And we obviously want to monitor the FX charts. As always, price action's king and price will determine absolutely everything. Now, before we get to the main story for this morning, I want to talk about Black Thursday, which is essentially the European Central Bank's interest rate decision that is due tomorrow. And as with the theme that we're busy seeing is that, central banks across the world are currently raising interest rates to curb rampant inflation. Now, this is having a knock-on effect on all economies. And I just want to talk about this for a second so that you properly understand. When an economy raises their interest rates, it makes it more and more expensive in terms of things like crude, in terms of imports, and there's a bunch of knock-on effects because we're sitting in an extremely globalized world where everything is connected. So interest rate decisions for a particular country affect right there in that country, but the knock-on effects from a trade and relation perspective is much further and longer lasting. So it's dubbed Black Thursday, and that's going to be happening tomorrow. As we get into the economic calendar, you'll see that those interest rate decisions are coming out. Now, in addition to that, and probably the biggest article for the day and what we're going to be focusing on as traders for the day, the whole world is eyeing out the interest rate decision that is due at 8 p.m. tonight, GMT +2. It's all going to be about whether we see that 75 basis point hike or we potentially see a 100-point hike, a full percentage hike. Now, news stories in the past couple of days have not been covering this. Most of the consensus lay around the potential that we could see a 50 to 75 basis points. Last week, I said that we could see a historic 100 basis point hike, 1 full percent. And now economists are saying there is a good percentage, a 20% chance that could be the case. Now, if we see that, that is going to be unprecedented. And as we get into the dollar index, I'm going to show you the effect of what the past two 75 basis point hikes have had on the United States dollar. So we are going to get into that in quite a bit of detail, and you want to be a part of that. So make sure you have a Globex 360 live account. If you have more than $100 in your account, we will email you the link for the live broadcast happening tonight. So I'll cover the interest rates. We're going to look at market moves. We're going to have opportunities to trade the market. I'll also be breaking down what Powell will be speaking about in terms of the forecast and what that means for the economy, because an interest rate on its own obviously also requires some sort of perspective. They're doing X with what end goal in mind, and that also can have quite a bit of an effect on the markets. Currently, analysts are saying that we can expect a fairly aggressive approach, but we do know that Powell has had a tendency of being expected to do one thing and really coming in with a softer tone. And I think in this point in time, he's going to need to be aggressive to really address that rampant inflation currently in the US. So tonight is going to be a cracker. You do not want to miss out. As I said, make sure you have your live account sorted so that you can be a part of that. I will link the articles in the description down below. So if you want to read up and you want to prepare a little bit better for that, make sure you get a part of that. We will be starting a little bit sooner than 8 o'clock. We're going to start with some price action, some analysis to prepare for some massive moves, putting in some pending orders. We're just going to have a ton of fun. It's going to be really, really a great live broadcast. You're going to be able to ask questions. We're going to do extra analysis. So remember, don't miss out on that one. It's going to be huge. Now, quickly just touching on the S&P 500 heat map for this morning, we can see that yesterday was fairly red across the board. Now, remember, if you traded with us live on the New York Stock Exchange Open, we shorted out US 100, we shorted out US 30, and we had a great, successful live trading session. Now, remember, I'll also be trading again live at 9 a.m. GMT +2, but depending on when you're seeing this, a couple hours, and we're going to be trading some really cool items at 9 o'clock, so you don't want to miss that. Now, historically, when we have these interest rate hikes, previously we've seen indices rally, right? That is the current expectation. It's happened the last 2 times. The question is going to be, where will markets run to? And that's what we're going to be spending quite a bit of time on as we dive deeper and look at that in a bit more detail. Now, looking at the economic calendar for today, Wednesday, the 21st of September, we do have CPI data coming out for the South African Rand. And as we've seen last week, the CPI data that came out for the US absolutely rocked the US markets. So we're going to be having a look at that CPI data. If you're not part of the Telegram group, link in the description down below. I'll be writing a quick article once that releases out, and that will obviously weigh on the South African Rand quite substantially. So the core CPI for month-on-month August is expected to decrease by 0.3%. So they're expecting a 0.4%. The CPI for month-on-month from August to September is expected to drop substantially. So we're expecting a 0.1%. So if we get numbers higher than expected, obviously that means that inflation is here and the South African government's going to have to do something quite aggressive. And that leads us into tomorrow's economic events, which I'm going to touch on really quickly, and we're going to fly through analysis. But ultimately, we're going to get that interest rate decision on the South African Rand at 3 o'clock tomorrow. But keeping our focus on today, we have that FOMC meeting happening at 8 o'clock. And then we have the statement and press conference happening at 8:30, which is right there. So remember, I will be streaming that one live. But as always, we're here for the analysis. That is what we're here to do. That's what we're here to dive deep in. And so we're going to jump right in and we are going to get started. And as always, we're going to jump straight in and have a look at what is busy happening with the dollar index. Now, really quickly on the index, I just want to point out that these are the last 2 interest rate decisions, right? Over here and over here. So the last interest rate decision prior to today was on the 27th of July. Prior to that was the 15th of June, all right? And in all of those cases, or both of those cases, we've seen the dollar lose a lot of value against the other major basket of currencies, the other major basket being euro, pound, and yen. So that is the current trend. Now, can we rely on that? Can we say with absolute certainty that no matter what, the dollar is going to lose value? No, we need to allow price action to lead the way and obviously show us what is busy happening over there. Now, moving on really quickly into Euro USD this morning. Euro USD sitting at that support level, and this is really going to be a test of, where are we going with Euro USD? I think Euro USD is going to have a very slow trading day leading up to an interest rate decision, and then potentially a breakout to the top side. USD JPY again sitting in a massive bull run. We're going to pay a lot of attention to this for the interest rate decision. Any weakness in the dollar, we would then be looking for shorts sitting on the USD JPY. Looking at USD ZAR, similar to where we were sitting yesterday, we're sitting pretty high in the sky. Now, interest rate decision on the US and an interest rate decision on the South African Rand means we could see a ton of volatility on USD ZAR and a lot of trading opportunities. So remember to catch us in our live sessions as we break that down and we trade that live together. Really quickly, another two opportunities that I'm seeing today that I think are going to be of importance is Euro AUD, that's Euro Australian Dollar. And Euro Australian Dollar is sitting in a great market structure, price action being king here, sitting under resistance. Our previous pullback happened at the end of July. So 1st of July, pullback happened to just above the 50 fib and we rejected. We're seeing a very similar thing. We're pulled back to the 61.8 and we could very well see a rejection. And we want to then map and monitor this out in terms of the 1 hour time frame. We want to have a look at what price does. And if we fall below that 1.4840 mark, that would trigger a sell-off on Euro AUD. Euro GBP, really quickly, we have some decent price action, decent structure. Ultimately, Euro GBP has punched through that 50 fib that we identified to say that, hey, listen, above that level, we could see substantial gains. Now, again, this is all going to come down to the interest rate decisions tomorrow on the euro and on the pound. And this will affect the European Central Bank, affects the euro and the pound, doesn't matter which way you look at it. So we are going to monitor this quite closely for a potential long of the 50 fib or a break below market structure from a diagonal perspective. Now, quickly moving into indices, as we traded US 30 yesterday, markets are still lower. However, we are sitting still at that key support. And this is across the board. This is US 30, it's NASDAQ, as well as German 30. So if you look at this moment in time where we're currently sitting, we're in that pullback. We're sitting beautifully on that 78.6. We're getting signs that markets don't want to press any further down. And again, as I said to you guys yesterday, if you haven't seen that video, I'll put the link in the description. So right here in the corner is yesterday morning's video where I broke down the past interest rate decisions and what ended up happening with indices on that. So you would definitely want to go ahead and check that out. But we will be obviously dealing with New York Stock Exchange open live. That'll happen at 3:30 today GMT +2. So indices sitting pretty, again, going to be a main focus for tonight on that interest rate decision pending and coming up at 8. Now, moving into gold this morning, not too much happening on gold as per yesterday. We have broken through a historic support that has pretty much held the price of gold up for well over 2 years. And in its current state, we are currently pressing just through that support level at this moment in time, currently trading at $1,664 per ounce of gold. Now, this could very well just be a fake out to the downside. And again, an interest rate decision in the event that we see a weaker dollar, this could be a perfect structure to break topside on gold. Now, Brent is a little bit of a different story, and we're going to move into Brent really quickly before we jump into the crypto side of things. And Brent is looking like a slightly different story. Now, this morning I've mapped out a different channel that has become apparent, and Brent has tried to pop out of this channel on 2 different occasions. We've held support extremely well. Our 61.8 Fibonacci level currently sits just below us, and you obviously just need to be cognizant of the fact that Brent is already in this long-term bull run. When I say long-term, I mean for over 2 years we've been in a bull market on Brent. And so this interest rate decision, there is articles out there saying that, it will put pressure on the import and export prices of Brent, so on and so forth. However, price action being king, all we're looking for on Brent is, do we recover and hover above that 61.8, which represents plus minus about $91 per barrel? And then ultimately, do we break this channel that's right here? Now, for you to draw that out, simply, look at your 4-hour time frame, exclude those false moves to the top side, and you're going to see a beautiful structure that is moving. Now, generally speaking, a correction to the downside is a prerequisite and a leading price action indicator, we could see a breakout to the top side. So you don't want to miss that, and you obviously want to be a part of that. Now, quickly moving into Bitcoin. Bitcoin as well as Ethereum are pretty much sitting in the exact same predicament, right? Both of them sitting cleanly at support. And I'll just quickly show you a glimpse of Ethereum. Ethereum is still a little bit short of that 78.6. We have reached it before, but that Ethereum merger and upgrade to the infrastructure on the blockchain network has not had a massive positive effect on Ethereum. But on Bitcoin, we're currently sitting square on support. So the big question is going to be, how does the interest rate decision affect Bitcoin? Now, I've dived a little bit deeper into this, and I've done a really great analysis, which I'm going to be sharing prior to the interest rate decision this evening at 8:30. So you want to make sure you are a part of that. Remember, I will be live at 9 a.m. looking at London market open. As I showed you guys yesterday, there's a ton of opportunities we're going to try and capitalize on. We will be live again at 3:30 GMT plus 2 for the New York Stock Exchange open, as we trade that open live together. And again, for those of you who have live accounts, we will be dealing with the interest rate decision live together. It's going to be a special broadcast. It'll be plus minus about an hour. We're going to do some price action. We're going to do some analysis. We're going to listen to the press conference, as well as get that interest rate release and look at markets as a whole in terms of how they are reacting. So that's another reason you want to make sure you have your Globex 360 live accounts. Guys, I will see you live at 9 a.m. As always, remember, do things the Globex 360 way. And until then, see you later. Bye.